Have you ever settled into your favorite chair after lunch, only to realize hours later that your legs feel stiff, your back aches, and the day has somehow slipped away? You're not alone. In fact, studies show that seniors who sit for more than 4 hours a day double their risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even memory issues. And here's the kicker. It's not just about how much you sit, but how you sit and what you do to break free from that chair. Now, before you panic, let me be clear. This isn't about shaming you for relaxing. Heaven knows we've earned the right to put our feet up. But what if I told you that a few tiny tweaks to your daily routine could add years to your life, and life to your years? Today, we're diving into 5 simple, science-backed fixes to combat the dangers of sitting too long. No gym memberships, no marathon workouts, just practical, doable strategies you can start today. Let's start with the first fix. And trust me, you'll wonder why you haven't tried this sooner. It's all about movement snacks. No, I'm not talking about raiding the cookie jar. Movement snacks are quick, bite-sized bursts of activity you sprinkle throughout your day. Think of it like hitting a reset button for your body. Every 30 minutes, set a gentle reminder, maybe a timer on your phone or the end of a TV show episode, to stand up, stretch, or take a lap around the room. Why does this matter? When you sit for long stretches, your circulation slows, muscles stiffen, and even your brain gets foggy. But just 60 seconds of movement every half hour can kickstart your metabolism and keep your joints limber. Take my neighbor, Barbara. She used to knit for hours in her rocker, only to struggle with swollen ankles at night. Now, she keeps a kitchen timer nearby. When it dings, she pauses her needles, marches in place to her favorite big band tune, and gets right back to her project. I still finish my scarves, she says, but my legs don't punish me for it anymore. Now let's talk about your chair itself. This is our second fix, making your seat work for you, not against you. Many of us have chairs that are too soft, too deep, or lack proper support, recipe for a slouched posture and aching hips. But you don't need a fancy ergonomic throne. Try this. Place a small cushion or folded towel at the base of your spine to keep your lower back aligned. If your feet don't comfortably reach the floor, use a footstool or even a stack of books to keep your knees at hip level. And here's a game changer. Swap out your recliner for a sturdy dining chair during activities like reading or watching TV. Straight back chairs naturally engage your core and prevent that sinking feeling. My friend Harold swears by this. I thought it'd feel like homework detention, he joked, but now I catch myself sitting taller without even trying. Speaking of posture, let's move to our third fix, the power of posture checks. Slouching doesn't just make you look tired, it compresses your lungs, strains your neck, and even affects digestion. Try this trick. Every time you stand up, take a moment to reset your posture. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chin slightly, and imagine a string pulling the top of your head toward the ceiling. Then carry that same alignment back into your seat. You might be thinking, but I'll never remember to do this. Here's a tip. Tie it to a daily habit you already have. For example, every time you sip your tea or turn a page in your book, take a breath and adjust your posture. Rita, a viewer from Texas, shared her genius hack. She placed a sticky note on her TV remote that says, "Sit proud." Now her grandkids even remind her, "Grandma, you've got that royal spine today." These first 3 fixes, movement snacks, chair adjustments, and posture checks, are like oiling a creaky hinge. Small efforts, big rewards. But here's the thing. Sitting isn't just a physical habit. It's often tied to how we structure our days. And that's exactly where we'll pick up next time. Because breaking free from the chair isn't about willpower. It's about designing a life that gently nudges you toward movement, connection, and joy. So what's one tiny change you'll try today? Maybe set a timer, fluff up that cushion, or share Rita's sticky note idea with a friend. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. And you, my friend, are worth every bit of effort it takes to keep feeling your best. Up next, we'll tackle 2 more fixes that'll surprise you, including how to turn everyday tasks into secret workouts. But for now, give yourself permission to rise, stretch, and take that first step toward a stronger, healthier you. Let's be honest. When someone tells you to exercise more, it's easy to tune out. Exercise can feel like a chore, especially if you're not the gym-going type. But what if I told you that some of the best ways to break free from your chair are hiding in plain sight, in the things you already do every single day? That brings us to our 4th fix: turning chores into opportunities. You see, sitting too long isn't just about laziness, it's about habit. We've gotten so used to outsourcing movement that we forget how much power lies in ordinary tasks. Take cooking, for example. Instead of sitting while you peel potatoes or stir the soup, try this. Shift your weight from one foot to the other, rise onto your toes, or do gentle calf raises while you wait for the kettle to boil. It's like multitasking for your health. My friend Clara, who's 78, calls this her kitchen workout. She adds a mini lunge every time she opens the fridge or does a sidestep while wiping counters. I don't even notice I'm doing it anymore, she says. But by dinner time, I've clocked a mile's worth of movement. And here's another trick. Never sit when you can stand. Fold laundry at a high counter instead of the couch. Read the newspaper on your feet. Even standing for just 10 extra minutes a day strengthens your legs and improves circulation. If standing feels tough at first, lean against a sturdy table or wall for support. Progress, not perfection, right? Now let's move to our 5th fix, and this one's a crowd pleaser: socializing on your feet. Humans are social creatures, but too often our gatherings revolve around sitting, coffee at the table, TV nights, long chats in armchairs. What if you mixed it up? Invite a friend for a walk and talk around the neighborhood instead of a seated visit. Meet your grandkids at the park and join in their games, even if it's just tossing a ball or pushing a swing. My local community center started a standing book club where folks discuss novels while strolling through the gardens. At first, I missed the cookies and couches, admits member Lois, but now I remember the stories better. Something about moving while we talk just sticks. But what if mobility is a challenge? No problem. Seated movements count too. Try arm circles or seated marches while on the phone, or host a chair yoga hour with friends. The key is to pair connection with motion, because isolation is just as dangerous as sitting. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds great, but how do I remember to do it? That's where your environment comes in. Let me share a story about my dad. For years, he'd sink into his recliner after breakfast and stay there until noon. Then he rearranged his living room, small shifts that made a big difference. He moved the TV remote to a shelf that requires standing to reach, placed his crossword puzzles on a standing desk, even put his favorite bird-watching chair by the window so he'd naturally get up to adjust the blinds or refill the feeder. It's like the room wants me to move, he says. That's the magic of designing your space for movement. You don't need a home makeover, just a few strategic tweaks. Keep resistance bands draped over a chair arm. Park your reading glasses in another room so you have to walk to fetch them. Store the dog's leash by the front door as a visual nudge for daily walks. And here's a bonus. Every time you stand up, take an extra 3 seconds to reach for the sky or touch your toes. These micro stretches add up, keeping your muscles supple and your mind sharp. But let's pause here. Changing habits isn't just about doing more. It's about thinking differently. It's realizing that every time you choose to stand, stretch, or step, you're not just avoiding a risk. You're investing in a future where you can keep gardening, traveling, or dancing at your granddaughter's wedding. So what's next? Well, we've covered how to move more. But what about why? In our final chapter, we'll explore the science of motivation, how to stay consistent without burning out, and, most importantly, how to celebrate every tiny victory along the way. Because this journey isn't about fear, it's about freedom. Until then, why not challenge yourself? The next time you're tempted to sit for just a few more minutes, ask, could I do this standing? You might surprise yourself. Let's take a moment to imagine something. Picture yourself a year from now, stronger, more energized, waking up each morning without that familiar stiffness in your knees or ache in your back. How does that feel? Liberating, right? That future isn't just possible, it's within your reach. But here's the truth. The hardest part of change isn't starting, it's staying started. So today, let's talk about how to keep that momentum alive, even on days when the couch feels really inviting. You see, the secret to lasting change isn't willpower, it's joy. It's finding ways to make movement feel less like a chore and more like a gift you give yourself. Take my cousin, Edna. She used to groan at the idea of exercise until she discovered line dancing at her local senior center. Now she's the first one on the floor, twirling in her cowboy boots. I forget I'm even moving, she laughs. It's just fun. That's the magic. Whether it's dancing, gardening, or playing fetch with your granddog, find what makes your heart light, and your body will follow. And on days when motivation runs low, celebrate the tiny wins. Did you stand while folding laundry? Victory. Take an extra lap around the grocery store? Gold star. These moments add up, like coins in a longevity piggy bank. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Setbacks. Maybe you've had a week where pain flared up, or life got hectic, and old habits crept back in. That's okay. Progress isn't a straight line, it's a dance. My friend Lou puts it perfectly. Some days I waltz, some days I wobble. But I'm still on my feet. The key is to greet yourself with kindness, not criticism. Missed your movement snacks yesterday? Today's a fresh start. Let's circle back to the 5 fixes we've covered, not as a list, but as tools in your toolbox. Those movement snacks that keep your blood flowing, a chair that supports you, not sabotages you, posture checks that turn slumping into standing tall, chores that double as stealth workouts, and connection that gets you moving, not just sitting. But here's the real takeaway. You don't have to tackle all 5 at once. Start with 1. Maybe tomorrow you'll swap 10 minutes of TV time for a sunset stroll. Or next week invite a friend to try seated yoga with you. Small steps build unstoppable momentum. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. What's one tiny change you're excited to try? Or maybe you've already found a trick that works. Share it in the comments. Your wisdom could light the way for someone else. And if this video resonated with you, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're here to help you thrive, not just survive, in this glorious chapter of life. So from my garden to your living room, remember this. Every time you choose to move, to stretch, to stand, to sway to a favorite song, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. And that, my friend, is what it's all about. Here's to rising stronger, laughing louder, and living every day like it's yours to savor. You've got this.